Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Sitka.
On this week's episode,
and that is what it looks like to not have a water maker.
You're looking for prawns, call me.
Sailing to Puerto Vallarta.
No stress. All right. Oh. Is it heavy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our biggest one, I think.
This is live, people.
We spent the last days of Mazatlan soaking up all it had to offer. We didn't expect to stay here as long as we did, but we couldn't help but fall in love with this port. Only a 25-minute walk from Club Nautico, where we're anchored, lies the old town of Mazatlan, which isn't as touristy as the other parts of the city. The Cathedral Basilica is a bright yellow structure spotted from miles away. Built in 1856 and officially completed in 1899, this beautiful church was truly a sight to see. Not far from here was a local market consisted of fresh seafood. It's so bad. Delicious produce, trinket shops, and more. So we stumbled upon a little market that has a bunch of these like little taco stands and things above it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's actually really neat.
We are now in the prawn district of Mazatlan. You're looking for prawns, call me. I'll get you prawns.
The lovely people from SV Discovery Passage led us here, and we couldn't be more grateful. We definitely didn't get a chance to explore the entire city, but we felt we bit off a pretty big chunk. It's time to pull up the hook and take off for another adventure. Further south we go, and we couldn't be happier to be on the move once again. That is what it looks like to not have a water maker.
Yeah, and actually this was quite easy because Martin, which is a super nice security guy, called his friend. So they brought in a little tuk-tuk 3-wheel thing. They brought the water right to the ramp for the dinghy, which is these things are heavy, right? So like it was really nice. And the cheapest we've ever gotten water from a store was 20 pesos for 20 liters, and this was 25, but I mean, it's delivered to your house, like, yeah. So you can't complain. So it's basically, it cost us 250 pesos to get the 20 liters, which filled our entire tank, plus gave us an extra 20 liters that we transferred in one of our 20 liters that we keep inside. We keep 2 extra and we just drink from those. But needless to say, like, this has been, it's been 2 weeks since La Paz, and we just had to put 9 in, so meaning 180 liters. And so basically we've only used 180 liters of water in 14 days, and actually 15 days. 15. So that's pretty good. That's like, yeah, just above 10 liters a day, so that's not bad. Yep. Like for dishes, so yeah. But like I said, we don't shower with it. We shower using little bins outside. Yeah, they know. These little bins, yeah, you've seen it. So that's not drinking water. We're not even know if we should put it on our skin, to be honest. But so far, no crazy reaction, so works out. Except for you being a coconut. That's a classic. I don't need any crazy water for that. All right, so tomorrow we'll be leaving from Mazatlan and going to Puerto Vallarta. So it should take us about 48 hours. And this is the wind. We're using windy right now. Predict wind doesn't seem to be that accurate here. It's good offshore, but not here. So we should have about 10 knots going up to about 15 all of Tuesday, maybe points up in the early 20s maybe. And then it kind of dies off Wednesday and then picks back up in the afternoon, because then there's no weather window until Friday, Saturday, and my mom gets here on Saturday. So we gotta get our boogie on. We don't want to motor too much, so we'll try to make as much distance as possible under sail. And if the last day the wind's a bit too low, and we're not gonna make it before sundown on Thursday, then we'll probably motor a bit, but hopefully we can sail, which would be nice.
All right, there you have it, folks. Got some poor man's pasta right there. Spam. Prego. Oh boy. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do out here. Following your dreams, not working. So, you know, this is what we got. I portioned it off into 2 sections here, so 2 nights worth of dinners. And yeah, just makes life a whole lot easier because I sure as hell cannot cook while underway. I think I already said that. Just gonna put the hydrovane in and drop off last minute garbage is a huge thing. And then, yeah, we'll be good to go tomorrow.
Using a brush, I'll just show you guys here.
Oh yeah.
This is like, so I bring it in a bit, and then all this ground goop. And we've been at anchor here since the 5th, and today's the what, 20 something?
24.
Yeah, so it's been a bit. It's been 20 days.
That's what 20 days on the chain looks like. Holy.
The part that lays on the ground is normally not as bad, but the part that's free flowing in the water, that's where all this stuff goes.
It's just a tidgy bit before 7 a.m. and yeah, we're pretty much all ready to go. We got things mostly ready last night, just well prepared ourselves. For people that don't know, this is supposed to be like pure white.
Pure white, like that.
Oh, that's nasty.
Just leaving the Mazatlan. We just had to wait for that big cruise ship to go in, and now we're on our way out. Kenna did her best cleaning the bridle there, cleaned the chain, but it was beyond disgusting after 20 days here. So next time we come to Mazatlan, the way up, we'll make sure to move anchorage every week in the anchorage, just so to avoid having to do that. It was gross, huh? Yeah. Trying to make it, yeah. So we're currently at sea here. We just left Mazatlan. We're going wing on wing in some very light airs. It's supposed to pick up this afternoon. Right now we're making 3.3 knots, up to 4 sometimes. I think we would be going 4 honestly if the bottom was clean, but the bottom is really dirty. You saw the chain, so imagine what the bottom looks like. That water was not clean, so I didn't want to go diving in there and clean it. But that being said, we left early enough that even at that speed, at 3.5 knots, we'd get there at, you know, 4 to 6 a.m. on Thursday, which is what we want, because today there's supposed to be wind all day, which is good, but then the wind is supposed to die down tomorrow in the morning, so progress will be quite slow. So I'm expecting us to go hopefully 5 to 6 knots this afternoon and tonight, so we'll cover a lot more ground that way, and then I expect tomorrow to be quite slow. Well, Fred, the wind vane is steering, so that's basically you point the leading edge here into where you want the wind to be coming from in relation to where you want to go. So right now we want the wind to be pointing just slightly a bit this way, not dead downwind, but a little bit on our starboard quarter, to keep the main filled. So you always want the wind, if you look up at the arrow at the top, you want it to be pointing when you're going dead downwind, wing on wing with your main. It's always preferable if the arrow has a natural tendency to point towards the opposing side as to which the main is on, to prevent the main from backwinding. So you don't want wind to all of a sudden come from behind the main and then swing that whole sail on the other side, especially with like a huge boom. It's way better to backwind the Genoa in a downwind scenario than it is to backwind the main. Ideally, you don't want to backwind anything. But so far, that's the advantage of having a wind vane, is if you were steering with the autopilot, which we turned off but is behind here, the autopilot has no idea where the wind is coming from. Therefore, I mean, there's options for that, but therefore, in most cases, if the wind shifts and you're just chilling down below or making yourself a sandwich, you could backwind your main or your Genoa and jibe accidentally, which is quite dangerous. Versus with a wind vane, all that's going to happen is if the wind shifts, your boat's going to keep going on that relative angle to the wind that you've set it to. So it's going to keep going downwind. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be off course, which in most cases when you're offshore is not a big or a dangerous thing. You'll just be not going towards your destination. And whenever you come back from doing whatever you were doing down below, you can address that situation and alter course and change the sail configuration. So I hope that didn't confuse too many people out there, but if you're sailors, you should understand what I'm saying. If not, that's how it works. But so this blade turns that little black rudder that's down there, but that rudder's big enough to steer the entire sailboat because it's aft of the boat. So the further aft the rudder is, the more control it has over the boat. And we lock our wheel. The tape is here, but really that's midships rudder on here. We should actually move it to here. But you can cheat also with the hydro vane and lock this a tiny bit off center to help you with weather helm or lee helm. We just use a tight bungee cord to hold the helm. Our lock thing is not working. This pedestal needs a lot of loving. That's why normally you don't see it, it's hiding. The compass works good though. We like this compass. So anyways, we're gonna be on a course of 160 for the following 2 days. Kenna's trying to grab the camera because she's like, stop talking and move it away from your face. On that, peace out, A-Town. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got Wilfred steering. We got our line out, trying to get some Mahi. We're currently on course, going about 4 knots, sometimes all the way down to 3. Doing 3.8 right now. Wing on wing. It seems like the wind is trying to fill out right now, which is nice. It's now 11:40 a.m. and it's gonna be Kenna's watch here starting at noon, so I'm gonna go wake my little bumsicle down there up. Hey, my little chicken nugget. Chicken nugget. It's your watch in 20 minutes. Look at her go. So I think for lunch we're gonna, I just took out some crackers and then I'm gonna, we're addicted to these on passage. Pollo champignon. So just chicken mushroom cream soup. And you add that, you put this with a can of milk and mix 2 bowls with some crackers. Easy lunch. And it seems to help with Kenna's seasickness, so having not too much of a big meal helps out. So we're gonna have that, and then Kenna was nice and made some nice pasta yesterday, so I'm gonna cook that up later for din din, and hopefully we get a Mahi, which would be nice. So seas are pretty flat, just a little swell here. The only issue is that it's quite close together out here, so you're on one and you get hit by another one, so that's why it's kind of rolly, even though the swell is pretty small, pretty minimal. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking here and go make some pollo champignon soup. Bye guys.
I just woke up from my nap, and Jay usually tends to take the first watch because my seasickness medication makes me rather drowsy. So I sleep that off, and yeah, now it's about 12 o'clock, almost lunch. Jay's gonna make our favorite soup, and that's what's going on.
Yeah, hopefully the wind picks up a bit. It's kind of like all over the place in terms of like wind strength. It feels like it wants to fill up, which would be nice. I really want to not have to use the engine. So if we can make like, if we can go like 6 knots all night, that'd be amazing. So if we get like that 18 knots that it's predicted, then we should be able to like do a lot of distance. And then tomorrow, even if we have to like sail at 2 knots, not a big deal. We can still make it by Thursday morning. Okay, what's going on, hun?
Big fish.
Okay, don't lose it. No stress. All right. Oh. Is it heavy?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need help?
No, I want to try to do it.
Okay, do it. Let me move the cushions out of the way. So this is what we do every time. This is live, people. We're sailing wing on wing, so we're not gonna slow down. We never do. To be fair, we always catch our fish sailing. Not on purpose, it just happens that way. So far when we're motoring, we've never been really lucky. So anyways, I got the cedar plug on there, so I got a feeling it might be a Mahi. We got the cushions down below. That way this turns into a filleting table. Oh, there it is. Don't lose it. Don't lose it, hun. You got it. Action shot.
Oh my god, he's heavy.
Yeah, that's a Mahi Mahi, people. Once it gets close, I'll gaff it. Here, I'll try to get the shot and gaff it. You gotta bring it in closer. Okay, a little bit closer. A little bit closer. All right, got it.
Got him?
Yeah, don't let it go though. Then grab the camera. Don't let go of the reel though.
Yeah.
Then here.
Yeah.
Pass the reel over here. Like grab it from me from the top. Yeah, there you go. There we go.
Oh.
All right, you pull that in.
Hell yeah.
So watch out.
That's our biggest one, I think. Oh, he's pretty.
Okay, roll that up and then just put it so we don't get hurt. Away from the showers and stuff. Okay. And then you want to take a picture of him?
Yes.
Hold the gaff. Alright, sorry we didn't video the fillet process there, the gory details, but Kenna got us probably 6 fillets out of this. That's good. So we're gonna rinse them off and put them in Tupperwares. So now we got Mahi Mahi and we got some tuna, thanks to our friend Vinny on Voyager and Steph. So anyways, we'll get that sorted. So some Mahi Mahi on the menu soon. We got food for tonight and tomorrow, so we'll freeze this up, but it'll still be good.
This is a shout out to my papa. He taught me fishing and filleting, so that's a shout out to you.
Yeah, and it came in good use today because Kenna actually reeled this in and filleted it all by herself. All right, so now if you look forward, we just caught the fish, and our course was, when we looked at it, was like now 125 while going straight downwind. So we had to alter to starboard, which means go more to windward. So now we're more on a broad reach, so that's why the pole is still there in case the wind shifts back, because we've learned the hard way where we take it down and then we have to put it back at night. So we're gonna keep the pole out. We just jibed the Genoa and we pulled in a bit the main in, so now the main is a bit more in a broad reach position, which does 2 things. It allows us to go more on course and also creates less of a wall for the Genoa, because the Genoa is obviously behind it. But yeah, we're making, like, the wind just kind of died down there, but we were making a good 5 knots, so we'll see what happens here. All right, it's dinner time. It's my watch, but I'm gonna reheat the pasta that Kenna cooked yesterday. So she was just napping, but now she's at the helm. It's doing pretty good, but once in a while there's a gust, so I want to make sure there's somebody there so we don't bite to windward, because the Genoa is quite a lot bigger than the mainsail, therefore it's not the most balanced sail plan right now. We're kind of cheating a bit. So anywho, I'm happy that Kenna cooked this yesterday, so it's gonna be pretty easy meal for me this time. All I gotta do is heat this up in a pan, so my kind of meal offshore. Anyways, I'll put this down and get cooking, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. All right, so now we get some beautiful pasta made from my love yesterday.
It's not beautiful, it's spam.
I don't care, it's amazing. I didn't have to cook down below, so it's a plus for me, and it tastes delicious. So spam away, baby. Spam away. It's funny because we just got fresh mahi, but we're eating spam. All right, sun is about to set and the wind shifted a tiny bit, so we're back to wing on wing. So good thing we kept the pole out, and now we're going anywhere between 5.6 and 6 knots, so it gives us an ETA at that speed of around it says 2 p.m. on there, but then we still have to do like about 10 miles east. So yeah, probably like, if we do good, which I doubt we're going to maintain that speed because the wind's supposed to die off in the morning, but if it would stay that way in ideal conditions, then we would get there by about 4:30 in the afternoon, which would be ideal, right before sunset. But I got a feeling we're going to get there at night, which is still better than our worst case scenario, which was going to be spending 2 full nights at sea. So yeah, anyways, it's not that bad. By worst case scenario, it would have been fine if there was wind. I don't mind sailing if there's wind offshore multiple days. The issue becomes when there's no wind and the sails are luffing and we don't have really an engine that we want to use for any long distances. The engine itself is fine, it's the prop that's the issue, but yeah, I think we've said that plenty of times now. And we thought of hauling out in San Blas, but I just found out yesterday that it looks like the travel lift, at San Blas is broken, and this bird's trying to land on the boat right now. Hey buddy. Yeah, so that's broken, and apparently Mazatlan, where we were just at, is booked up, and those are the 2 cheap spots. By cheap, they're not cheap, but they're half price of the other spots. Where in Santa Cruz, our friend is hauling out right now for 5 days, and with the haul out in 5 days in the yard, it's 976 USD. So that's like 1,200 bucks Canadian, and that's crazy. So we're trying to avoid that because that would just crush us. So we're gonna try to wait out and see if the San Blas travel lift gets fixed, as that's 150 USD to pull out, 150 USD to pull in, so that's 300 USD compared to 600 and something at the other spot, plus each day on their hard is a lot cheaper in San Blas. So anyways, let's hope that works out. All right, I don't know if you can see me, but right now it's 7:40 p.m. so it's time to go wake up Kenna for her first night watch. So she's on from 8 to midnight, and then I'll be back on from midnight to 4. So we're currently going between 5 and 6.5. The wind's pretty good. I mean, I'm pointing at you guys, but you can't see it, but that's what's going on. The only concern I have is that around 1 a.m. we should get pretty close to Isla Isabella. That's right there. So I'll be back on watch for that, but hopefully I want to give it, like, you know, a white berth at least 1 or 2 miles. So once I get back on watch at midnight, I'll assure that that's good. Right now I'm just gonna go down below and wake up Kenna. So let's walk down below. No, she's not there, so she must be sleeping up forward. Hi, my love. My love? Hi, love. It's your watch in 20 minutes, okay? You awake? You alive? Okay.
Stay tuned next week for another episode of Sailing Sitka.
thank you to all our viewers and a special thank you to our patrons who make this lifestyle a reality.